All right, so this is the most dangerous type of woman out there. I remember I went out with a woman with a femme fatale, and she lived in Sonora. And the first time we met in Mexico City, and when I went to visit her, she was like, when we walk around, we gotta watch our backs. And I'm like, watch our backs? The fuck you mean watch our backs? And she's like, yeah, because there's a lot of mafiosos here, and you know, I may be in trouble with them. I'm like, you may be in trouble. You know, let's get the fuck back inside. For the whole trip, I was like scared, right? I wasn't excited. But she was an example of a femme fatale because she had the danger aspect. And the truth is, she was actually kind of mysterious. And you know what? I think she was a stripper. That was my suspicion. You know, I never like went out with her, but I'm like, there's a lot of things that are adding up to give me some weird vibes, right? And but the crazy thing is that she would tell me about this guy that was obsessed with her, and it was this like really religious guy that loved her, and literally he would do anything for her. And she would talk trash about him while she was on the phone. She was like, and I don't think he would care, right? There's a certain type of guy that's attracted to this woman, and there's a reason why these women are so powerful. There's a reason why you could literally talk shit on the guy, and the guy will still come back to you, right? So today we're going to be talking about the female archetype, the most dangerous female archetype, which is the femme fatale, and we're going to talk about it and understand one, their origins, how they become the way they are, historical examples, behavioral traits, and movie examples, the types of men that fall for her, which is kind of interesting. It's actually that you wouldn't expect the type of guys to fall for her, and her limits, and above all, how women can actually apply it in their lives to actually have some femme fatale qualities without the going to prison part, you know? And yeah, anyways, so let's begin. And usually, and the video of the week on Patreon, we just uploaded a meta meditation video. So if you guys want to check it out, go check out the Patreon for $5 a month. You guys can also join our meditations. So we're doing, I do live meditations every time, a few times a week. So by becoming a Patreon supporter or having worked with me one-on-one or purchased a course, you guys can get access to those Zoom meditations. So just message me and I'll give you the link. Okay. All right. Let's begin. So, the first thing is that what are the origins of a femme fatale? One is trauma. She was betrayed. Um, she felt powerless, and it's usually women who have a strong will. Like a femme fatale have very strong masculine traits in her, and these masculine traits causes her to get very aggressive, but in a passive aggressive way through her sexuality. They experience betrayal, heartbreak, and usually they're forming an environment where they have to be cutthroat. An example is what's that girl from The Wire? Let me see if I can find her. The Wire girl killer. Let me see. Snoop, exactly. She's a femme fatale. I can promise you a lot of guys like her because but she's like that because of the environment, right? Um, and an example is Cleopatra, right? We're going to talk about her, but usually these types of women have an avoidant attachment style where they have an emotional distance. It's actually one of their biggest flaws, right? Um, and so an example is Cleopatra, where she was in a male dominated world, but unlike most women, she had a higher need for power. In fact, femme fatales have a higher natural aggression than most guys. I like to think they have higher testosterone than most women because of just their aggression and their motivation and their high what do you call people high ambitions usually come from higher levels of testosterone. Well, she's an example of that, where she will hop on from guy to guy, depending on who benefits her, and she didn't give a fuck about her. And even though she had a reputation of being dangerous, guys didn't care. We're gonna talk about actually a woman who literally says these guys are dumb. I'm actually manipulating them, and even though she says that, the guys still go after her. The behavior that makes them so powerful is that one, they're beautiful, right? The difference between them is and Snoop is that, right? They're very seductive. They know the game. They know the art of seduction. And they're nothing but trouble. So they're seductive, it's beautiful, but also problematic. And that friction creates attraction in guys. right? And so she's not afraid to use her sexuality to manipulate and get what she wants. And a lot of the times, sometimes these women could be escorts as well, strippers, women who do things for money, right? A lot of the times they could be the most dangerous types of women. Um, and they also are very smart because they're able to set a guy up long term. Like in other words, they set traps, right? Unlike most women, these are the types of women that sets a trap for you, and they end up hurting the hero. And an example is from Forrest Gump, actually. Forrest Gump girlfriend, her, where she leaves and comes back, leaves and comes back, and she has a drug addiction. And most likely she did. I think she was a prostitute, right, or a stripper. She did drugs. But the point is that a lot of these guys, nice guys, fall for her, right? And that's why they say, why do bitches get the nice guys? Well, because they're complete opposite. Even notice she's wearing red colors. He's wearing cool colors. Um, and so they end up hurting the ego, causing his downfall, right? Only they realize it when it's too late. They also tend to be very intelligent, very witty, and they play the hot and cold, right? Where with Forrest Gump, she came back and left him a lot. She is very manipulative and above all, very independent. She can't be put in one place and mysterious. But the mystery isn't because it's the strategy. The mystery is because it's a flaw in them. Examples would be Morticia Adam is an example. Jesse Pinkman's girlfriend. Look, she was the type that she got him to do drugs. If you get a guy addicted to crack, let me show you. Let's watch the video. Right? Again, it's kind of like the Forrest Gump thing, where he's the nice guy and she's the more experienced one, right? And she's telling him, let's do heroin romantically.
What's it feel like?
He's like, what? He's like, yeah. Right? So she's seducing him so that he could follow her to the abyss. Right? And that is very.
Don't forget it passes. And then you'll see.
Right? And she goes for the kiss to seal it. Man, that's femme fatale to the fucking limits, man. That's femme fatale. And so this happens a lot with guys too, where with the guy version of is the bad boy, right? Where he's a criminal or even the lone wolf. But that's how a lot of nice guys get into drugs because of femme fatales, right? Let's read the comments on this one. Oh, okay, there's no comments. All right. So let's keep going, right? Another example is Brittany Renner, right? Right here, where she literally says, these guys are stupid and they let me play them. Watch this.
Experience, the worst people to deal with are the athletes. None of them use condoms, really. So if y'all really want to try to come up off a check off a man, right, I mean, you could just fuck an athlete. They're really dumb.
And the crazy thing, she said that before she got with him, an NBA player. And she did exactly what she was going to do. These femme fatale have a crazy ability to completely hijack your rationality. And the reason why is because it attracts a certain kind of guy. We're going to talk about it. Another example is Phyllis Dietrich Sung. She will kill everyone. Like she was a murderer. And she seduced guys just to get money and rob them and kill them. So who falls for them, right? Who are these fucking dopes? Well, romantic idealists. These men are drawn to the femme fatale's mystery and allure because they romanticize the perfect woman or unattainable woman. They see her as a challenge or a puzzle to solve, which feeds the desire for adventure and passion. Usually super nice guys, right? So guys who want to treat a woman like a queen. Well, guess what? You got the wrong queen, buddy. Power seekers. And this is where you see a guy like Mark Antony that was with Cleopatra. Men who are ambitious and power driven may be attracted to femme fatale because she embodies confidence, control, and independence. An example is what's a show called House of Cards, right? Remember the guy? Cards wife. Her. She literally, right? Or Game of Thrones woman who blew everyone up. Hopefully, not to come. There you go. Right, another example of femme fatale. She's another example of femme fatale. But the problem with these is that and look who was her boyfriend, her brother, who was a fucking passive fuck. Okay, um, they may see her as a partner who matches their intensity. Yeah, that's very true. That is very true. Someone who could elevate their status. That is very, very, very true. The more dangerous you seem, the more attractive you are to these powerful men. Another thing is naive and vulnerable. Men who are inexperienced, like honestly, it's usually the type of guys you'll see in the Philippines getting manipulated by the Filipina. Emotionally vulnerable, seeking validation, are often easy prey for these femme fatales. Her charm and manipulation can fill a void or provide excitement they lack. And usually you see this with old guys with younger women. Thrill seekers. These men crave danger and excitement and unpredictability. The femme fatale's enigmatic and risky nature is irresistible to them, which they are often drawn to her because she represents a break from the mundane. The next one is overconfident alpha, and this is where you see a lot of these fake alpha males. Men who believe they can tame or are smart in femme fatale often fall for her. Their overconfidence blinds them to her manipulative tendencies, making them easy targets, right? Now, you might say, oh my God, how powerful they are. That's crazy. I want to become one. Well, guess what? They're very limited because these women are not happy. A lot of the times, if they play the wrong guy, they're going to get killed, right? They're emotionally distant, so they never truly find love. They die alone. She's not really mysterious. So because of that, once you get to know her, you get disenchanted. And so she knows this. And so she's really insecure about the fact that if people get too close, they'll lose interest. Well, it's because she's dating guys that are not in reality. She's dating guys that are delusional. So when they see reality, they shun away. She has limited longevity. She can only be mysterious for so long. And she might overreach her manipulation, which could get her in trouble. These are Bronx mode chicks, man. Bronx mode, fucking Florida type of people, you know. So what can we learn from this? Well, let's take some qualities from her. The mystery part, the keeping people at a distance in the beginning, right, and letting them get to know you. And if they lose interest once you let them get to know you, that's not your fault. That's their fault. They want a fantasy. They're not really grounded in reality. They're never really going to be happy. We should only just take bits of it. As guys, be careful with women who are dangerous, with criminal records that are from the Bronx, right? The Jennifers. You gotta be careful with women who have these types of qualities. That they're nothing but trouble, right? And they're very mysterious. You don't know much about her. That's toxic. You gotta be careful. Like I remember with this girl, how stupid was I? Like she wouldn't let me go visit her. And mind you, I didn't care because I was only visiting her. Like I was only there for a short time, but I found that kind of weird. I'm like, she's very mysterious. Most likely she was a stripper. And as women, just don't be if you struggle with emotional distance, if you are a femme fatale, you got to meditate. Meditation is the cure to emotional distance. If you want to learn about this, check out my course, Emotional Mastery, or check out my latest meditation on my Patreon. It's only for $5 a month. You guys can check it out. I give you a meditation that actually teaches you guys through the metta meditation. I guide you that teaches you guys how to overcome that emotional distance. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Let me know other example of femme fatales. Let me know what other archetype of women I should break down, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.